Welcome back to the channel. Some of you requested this video, and I don't understand why, but some of you posted on Instagram and some other stuff here wanting to see what was inside of the Optispark that I took out. Hold on, let me get it out. Damn wall here. I just screwed it onto the damn wall by accident. There we go. You want me to pull apart this Optispark, even though you know it's good, and it was the PCM that was bad on the Dirtybird. But some of you want me to pull this apart and show you what's inside of it. Okay, here we go. This is the Optispark out of the Dirtybird. This is a cheap Chinesium Optispark that's been on the car for 5-6 years. It was primarily used to run a Deltec system, and then I put the ignition coil back on here when I sold the car, so it only has maybe 4,000 miles and about maybe 5 years on it. And so I don't know, let's get to it. Oh yeah, one quick tip is that if you're ever doing a cap on rotor on an Optispark on a 4th gen whatever, you know, F body lt1, and if you don't have these they're male, can you see that, these little screws here, very simple old lt1 trick. Take the throttle body top here with a Torx bit, and then this is the proper size to take that cap off. So all you need is a vice grip. Put it on the little lip here so you don't damage the thread. Because obviously I don't have the right tool. Very simple. So I'm going to do this in real time. You and I are going to see what this thing looks like after 5-6 years, I think it is. Maybe 5,000 miles, if that. Who knows? Probably less than that. So let's go see if this bad boy will come apart. Well, first of all, I noticed is that this is loose. I was able to turn this with no problem at all. Yep, this one's loose too. I mean, they're not supposed to be torqued down that much, but it's a little bit looser than a factory Delco. Ooh, can you see that? It's got oil on it. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. Now, I don't know if it's oil from its dripping in there, but the whole entire screw is filled with oil. So I'm going to put this to the side here. Oops. Oh yeah, and that one has oil inside of it too. Oh yeah. It's okay. There's a little bit of play in there, not too bad. Not bad. What I've noticed here too, I don't know if you can see that, is the rubber's kind of like falling apart here. Look at this. Yeah, see? Where it was exposed to oil. That's why it's so good to seal these things up with a car TV before you put them in, but this wasn't a rush. It was never expected to have this on for a long time. Well, the car doesn't really see winter or anything like that, but from sitting, I guess, look at it, just fell apart. All right. Same thing. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at that shmoo. That's the seal coming apart from contacting with oil. And inside of here is a slight film of oil that seeped through. Look at that, there's oil here. There's a little bit of shmoo on the optical trigger. And a little bit of shmoo on the bottom of this. But overall, for a $99 Optispark, or maybe it was cheaper than that, maybe a $79 Optispark, not too shabby. Usually with these Optisparks, what I'll do, oops, yeah, you can see a little bit of oil back here too. But the bearing feels really good in here. A little bit of shmoo on the back of the disc. A lot of the seepage that comes into these Optisparks is the screws that are behind here. So what I usually do is put some RTV behind here, and I seal the entire Optispark on the cap side all the way around at the top where it comes together. And also here, wipe my hand so you can see. The rotor itself is not bad. Super lightweight. A little bit of erosion, and that's typical for these Optisparks. It's just like a cap and rotor for like a regular distributor. A little bit of shmoo. Look at this. I think that's actually a grease that they put on there so it doesn't wear out the, yeah it is. It's like a graphite grease they put on here. Look at that. See, little details, not too bad. A little bit of wear on the each points where the where it makes contact with the rotor. Obviously, it goes around this way and like that. But it's not usually what burns out on these Optisparks. If it's not the optical trigger, is the cap itself, because if you noticed, the plug wires come all the way down here, but it's a circular motion here. So they actually have strips of wire that go not in a like in multiple directions, molded inside of the cap. So when you're going and putting those MSD boxes and those 6AL boxes and shooting a ton of spark through here, it tends to melt the actual rotor. The cap on here, and it also takes out the rotor too. Because you're sending a ton of shit through here. Also, what goes bad on the actual rotor is that they have, instead of like a screw set here, it's just like a either a plastic or a metal like rivet that they just smash into place here, and this will fall apart. Typical shit here. I've taken apart some of the MSDs and they're the same shit inside, same crap. It's like the same manufacturer makes all of these parts. So don't be fooled in getting an MSD Optispark. It's basically the same shit. Unless they can prove differently, then I'm very skeptical. But these little 79, I swear to God, I think it was like $79 for this Optispark because I needed one quick from eBay. And I replaced the Dirtybird's Optispark with another $89 Optispark. So whatever, it is what it is. But this one's lasted. This one's seen tons of boost. Obviously, I wasn't using the cap and rotor as far as for spark because I had the Deltec system on here. But it ran on the coil system for, I don't know, 3,000 miles on the stock factory coil. So I don't know, food for thought of what's inside these Optis, and also what was, you know, not broken in this car. There you go. Talk to you later.